It is day number 67 of the self-quarantine today here in Los Angeles, and I'm going to get started by talking about what's the situation regarding COVID-19 here in LA. So the number of cases and deaths are still rising. That isn't much of new news, but the sustaining and the controlling of the coronavirus cases and deaths so far hasn't broken any spikes and hasn't broken any curves so far. So that is a little bit of good news. Now, talking about something that I left off yesterday in my last video. So I actually went to the Family Dollar this morning. I woke up around 6 a.m., arrived there about 7 a.m., and there was already a line. I actually walked from home to get to the Dollar Tree. There were already 5 people ahead of me and about 8 people behind me. I actually started to record to see how the line was forming, and then immediately saw that the door opened and immediately got inside. Once I went inside, it was just a madhouse. Everyone was just rushing towards the aisle where they had all the necessary things, because today, Monday, they said that the Clorox wipes, the Lysol sprays, the hand sanitizer, the alcohol, everything was available. And everyone didn't even get a card. They just rushed in. It was every man for themselves. And let me just tell you, it was insane. It was like Black Friday didn't compare to this. People were pushing, they were shoving, they were tripping, nails were broken, masks were flying off, people were jumping to get the necessary things. I saw someone weave and wig fall off. I saw someone's eyebrow fall off, eyelash, everything. It was just crazy. I actually was one of the lucky people to actually get Clorox wipes, so I'm actually happy about that. And there was this like really nice elderly lady that got me one, because she had more than enough, and she said, "Here, honey, if you need it, that's all you need, and God bless you." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you, man, thank you." But the Lysol bottles, those things went out really fast. And the one thing I actually had to complain about is that there were only around 12 cans on this particular store, while there was an abundance of wipes, Clorox wipes. And it's just insane, because all the people that were pushing and shoving, especially the tall people, they got those bottles first, and there was not enough left for anyone, because there's a four limit rule of getting the hand sanitizer, the Clorox wipes, and the Lysol spray. So all I have to say is, if you want to have a better way of organizing, and I'm not talking about just Family Tree, I'm talking about everywhere in general, because a lot of fights break out because of people wanting to get the most essential things, is to have everything ready. Do it like in Black Friday many years before, in different stores that I've been to. Have people write up what they need, and then have it ready already. When once they go inside, go straight to the cashier and get it, instead of fighting it like animals, because it's just insane. Because it almost felt like that. It almost felt like I was watching like something from a National Geographic channel. People just fighting and biting and pushing and growling and all that stuff. It's insane. But I was one of the lucky ones to actually got victory of getting these things. So that's not too bad. In addition, I also went to Home Depot and actually was very much more organized than when I went to the Family Dollar. And like I said before, when you go to the Family Dollar, any of the dollar stores, that is the place to find these essential items that you just have to ask. Those are the best places besides those big stores, warehouse stores. But I'm just giving and sharing this information. But going back to the Home Depot, I went there to buy some hose, because mine actually broke off. And it was nice and organized, but the minute you went to the cashier, there was already something clear, much bigger than I would have seen in grocery stores or those big chain markets. It's an entire covering of glass, separating you and the cashier, which I found interesting. So just something to think about, that everyone is taking all the necessary precautions. And again, I stress it again, the Family Dollar, The Dollar Tree, the 99-cent stores, those are much better places to go if you don't want to go crazy with the grocery stores, the big chain markets, to find those essential items that you need. Lysol, Clorox wipes, hand sanitizer, alcohol, gloves, masks, you name it. So I'm just sending out that positive message for everyone that is looking for anything that they need during this pandemic. Moreover, I wanted to talk about how the coronavirus impacted sports because of my previous video. Like I said before, all the sports around the world had to be canceled, suspended, and just stopped altogether because of this pandemic. And everywhere in the world, you couldn't see any sports, with the exception of actual 4 countries that were actually still continuing to play sports, especially soccer/football. And the countries including Tajikistan, Belarus, Turkey, and Nicaragua. Those were the countries that didn't care what was going on. They were not afraid of the coronavirus. They said, this is a little bit of a big deal. Not that big a deal, I mean. Everybody else is making a big deal, so we shouldn't. So they continued to play their sports, but after a while, they started seeing spikes in their community, and now they're paying the consequences. But other than that, all the big professional sports, like the number 1 ranks or top 5 ranks, it was all closed. Up until, like I said, Germany opened this past weekend. But before that, South Korea opened soccer and other major sports. The first country in Asia and one of the first around the world during this post-pandemic COVID-19 guidelines. So they opened around May 8th, while German soccer opened on May 16th. So South Korea gave us a glimpse of how sports are now being played with the COVID-19 guidelines, how to make sure that you're doing the best possible job to stop and prevent COVID-19. But as like I said before, this could be a good glimpse and hope that more sports are going to be opening up more around the world, especially here in Los Angeles. And this can give us a good medium to get away from the reality of the COVID-19 pandemic and start cheering for our local teams or favorite teams. So this just in, I actually got this breaking news on my cell phone, and basically said that the Los Angeles official has just declared that they're aiming for a safe reopening of Los Angeles County as early as 4th of July. So we're looking at the possibility of opening non-essential businesses like clothing stores, malls, diners, other types of businesses, everything all and in between in our Independence Day, America's birthday. That's insane if that were to happen. Now they're aiming for it. It doesn't mean that's going to happen. But what would the odds be that that would be the day that Los Angeles starts opening all of the businesses for that day? That would be pretty nice if that were to happen. And it'd be kind of symbolic, especially this year, of what it's been so far during this pandemic. So it would be kind of historical, meaningful, in a way, patriotic. But we'll wait and see. Does it mean that it's going to open on 4th of July? No. It could possibly mean that it's going to be somewhere around of July, but it would be something cool and astonishing to see if that were to happen, and that would be the case. So maybe in the future videos later on, maybe I'll look back on this day and see if 4th of July, the reopening happening in Los Angeles. But until then, it's just a hopeful dream, and let's see if it comes into fruition. So that is it for today's video so far of what happened on my day here in Los Angeles and all the news that has happened so far regarding COVID-19. So everyone, stay strong, stay safe.